Sound check 1 2 1 2.
Is BINO Nation in the building? Put those emojis in the chat.
That's my gang.
Yeah.
Cigar lit, bit thick, champion of the clique. Logic sharp, metaphor slick, never miss a trick. Angryman and blueprint, they just tryna mimic. Standard so high, they can't even scrimmage. OG on the tube, wisdom like a blade. Cut through the noise, every word tailor-made. Analogies, hit like bricks in an array. Built this empire, no handout, self-made. Masculine moves, they tremble when he speaks. Cash flow deep, they drown in his peaks. Big game strong, sharper than critiques. Cigar smoke rising, greatness at its peak. They watch, they learn, they can't comprehend. The angry man standard, where does it end? A paragon of people's chant, no pretend. Logic unmatched, every line he defends. Angry man is standard, king of the stream. Breaking down walls, shattering the dream. Champion the truth, no in between. The only standard, the angry man thing. Metaphors deadly, they stick like glue. Allergies heavy, each one rings true. Champion of the people, no fraud in his crew. Cigar in his hand, like a boss always knew. Voice like thunder, presence so divine. Every lesson drop, sharpening the mind. Wisdom in his cadence, discipline in his spine. Blueprint of a man that they'll never redefine. Never chase trends, he creates them instead. A leader of leaders, that's why he's ahead. Standing so cold, lead the doubters in dread. While he builds legacy, brick by brick, thread by thread. Stand tall, stand firm, that's the only decree. Men rise higher when they follow the key. Strength, discipline, honor, the trinity. Everything he speaks turns boys into Rudy man, a standard, king of the stream. Breaking down walls, shattering the dream. Champion of truth, no in between. The only standard, the angry man thing. Cigar smoke fade, but the legend remains. A titan in the game with iron in his veins. Blueprint for men, let it echo in your brain. Angry man is standard, remember the name. Angry man is standard.
If we agree with you, then we're black. We love black people. If we find ourselves in opposition to what you say, all of a sudden we hate ourselves and we hate black people. Who died and left you that kind of authority with your opinion? Who? Tell me.
Let them talk, baby. They don't know what we got. I see them running in the streets, chasing after crowns, trying to be the loudest voice in every single town. They say I'm moving backward cause I like to serve my king, but they don't know the peace and the power that you bring. I keep your plate hot, I keep the house still. I love to be the soft place where you can heal. They call it slavery, I call it devotion. While they drowning in a sea of mixed emotion. If loving you right makes me a pygmy, then baby pick me. I'm exactly where I wanna be. I don't want the headache, I don't want the fight. I just wanna be the one holding you at night. I follow your lead, I let you take control. You got the vision, baby, you got my soul. Call me a pygmy, call me a fool, but I'm the one winning while I'm lying next to you. They brag about being boss, they brag about the grind, but look inside their eyes, tell me what you find. so full of tears. Trading a family for a couple lonely years. I respect your frame, I respect your mind. Yeah. A masculine love is so hard to find. I ain't competing, I ain't keeping score. You handle the world, I handle the door to your peace. Let the new age girls argue on the net. Let them argue. They haven't found a man that they can trust yet. I'm catering to you, body and soul. Playing my position, playing my role. You protect, you provide. I submit, I reside in your kingdom. You got the vision, baby, you got my soul. Oh, call me a pygmy, call me a fool, but I'm waking up happy, lying next to you. Let them stay mad, we'll stay in love. I'm your pygmy forever.
No, chill for what? Who is this nigga?
You said the mask don't fit me, but it's glued to my name. Every headline paints me wicked, 'cause I won't think the same. You see trouble when I walk in, like I set this place on fire. But I just talk like my granddaddy, and it cuts through all your choir. You want me to be the villain, so I'll be there, I'll be there. Not a shadow that you're killing, I'm the storm that's fighting back. I'm not a villain, I'm a super villain. That's a fact. You wrote the script, I'm just living, so I'll be there, I'll be there. You get nervous when I'm smiling, 'cause you know it's not for show. I won't bow to your approval, I'm too grown to play that role. You throw labels like they shackles, try to change what I believe, but your story got a plot hole when I'm the one that's free. You want me to be the villain, so I'll be that, I'll be that. Not a shadow that you're killing, I'm the storm that's fighting back. I'm not a villain, I'm a super villain. That's a fact. You wrote the script, I'm just living, so I'll be that, I'll be that. Call me heartless, call me crazy, call me every name you know. All that talk just turns to power, watch my true colors glow. You want me to be the
You are now rocking with the best. Support the Angry Man. Support the stream.
Yeah. They know my name, they know my word. They still throw dirt. Ha! Yeah. Been a decade in the game, 10 plus in the rain. Built a kingdom from the mud, turned up on them every string. They were lurking on my chat, screenshotting every frame. Took my slang, took my cadence, then pretended we the same. They was praying for my downfall, while they copying my blueprint. Yeah. Every topic that I touch, turn the trend, now they abuse it, use it. They be whispering in DMs, plotting on me, try to stop my rise, stop my rise, stop my rise, stop my rise. Try to ice me out the story, still I burn right through the lies. Yeah. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. Say my name, can steal my style, never steal my hands. They can throw that dirt, still I rise again. You can hate my goods, but watch me rain. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. They can twist my words, never twist my stance. Blame me for it all, I just take that chance. Cause they know I'm best, they don't want my shine to last. No, they was flagging every upload, sending shots behind the scenes, posting pictures of my family, trying to crack me at the scene. Drop my name up in the phone, type my address on the site. Thought the fear would make me vanish, told them pussies catch a flight. Every time they build a boycott, I just build another brand. Turn a smear into a slogan, made a movement out to slander. Understand, they be calling me the villain, why they quoting every line. I'm the mirror that they scared of, so they cover up my life. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. Say my name. They can steal my style, never steal my hands. They can throw that dirt, still I rise again. You can hate my goods, but watch me rain. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. They can twist my words, never twist my stance. Blame me for it all, I just take that chance. Cause they know I'm best, they don't want my shine to last. They gon' blame me for the storm, blame me for the rain, blame me cause I said it, just remember we ain't the same. They gon' cry about my tone, but they study every take. You can hate on every move, you can cancel what I made. Nah, I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. Say my name. They can steal my style, never steal my hands. They can throw that dirt, still I rise again. You can hate my goods, but watch me rain. I'm the people's champ, I'm the angry man. They can twist my words, never twist my stance. Blame me for it all, I just take that chance. Cause they know I'm best, they don't want my shine to last. Cause they know I'm best, they don't want my shine to last. Yeah, they know I'm best, and that's why they hate the man.
Radio check 1 2 1 2.
Is BINO Nation in the building? Put those emojis in the chat.
That's my gang.
Yeah.
Son of her raising no delay. This life don't wait, so I'm on my way. Feet hit the pavement, sunrise grinning. Life's a roulette and I'm always spinning. Pocket full of dreams, got the world in my hands. No map, just vibes and unplanned plans. Sweat on my brow, running wild through the city. Clock ticking loud, but it ain't that gritty. Spill my soul like ink on a loose leaf. Every breath a moment, no time for grief. Full throttle, no brakes, I'm flying. Every second counts, ain't no denying. Living for the now, future can't wait. No rewind button, I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. I'm on in my face, oh, yeah. I'm on in my face. Heart like a drum, beating fast, no pause. Life's a movie real, I'ma start with no flaws. Cup running over, champagne fizz. Every day's a blessing, yeah, that's the biz. Jumping over hurdle, life's track and field. Every scar story, every wound's healed. Skyline's my ceiling, dreams stretch wide. Riding shotgun with hope, joy by my side. Full throttle, no brakes, I'm flying. Every second counts, ain't no denying. Living for the now, future can't wait. No rewind button, I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. Roll the dice, let it ride. Moonlit nights, ocean tide. Every heartbeat, a melody. Life's a stage, I'm the symphony. Slow it down, feel the sound. Breathing deep, feet on the ground. Then a spark, hit a call. One more run, give it all. Full throttle, no brakes, I'm flying. Every second counts, ain't no denying. Living for the now, future can't wait. No rewind button, I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. No rewind, no regret. Sunset phase, but I ain't done yet, yeah. I'm on in my face, yeah, yeah. I'm on in my face.
Now let's go.
Is not something that black women can help us with. This conversation does not include black women. Black women stand down and stand to the side. Black men need to have a kumbaya amongst themselves. And I'm gonna niche this out a little more. And it's heterosexual black men. I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, but I'm gonna say it out loud with my whole chest. Straight black men are the cancer of the black community. That's where it starts and that's where it stops. Ladies, I'm here to tell y'all something. All this shit that y'all got going on, some of y'all, not all of y'all, with the gays and with the trans, let it go. Your issue is not a trans woman. Your issue is not a punk or not a sissy. Your issue is all of our issue. Straight black men. Straight black men are the enemy to the gays. Straight black men are the enemy to the trans. Straight black men are who are causing harm to the girls and the women. That's where it's at. Now y'all can shoot the messenger.
Did everybody hear that? Press a 1 if y'all heard that. Press a 1 if y'all heard that. So normally I wouldn't even cover a story like this because I don't take any of those individuals seriously. I just don't. I don't take them seriously. Like, and keep in mind, I don't care what people do in their personal life with consenting adults. I don't give a shit. You feel what I'm saying? I don't care what you do. And that's not me trying to be politically correct. That's just my honest opinion. I don't care what nobody do in their bedroom. I don't give a shit, right? Do what you do. You feel me? But when it comes to us being out here in public, functioning like normal adults, I don't take them seriously. I don't. You feel me? It's difficult for someone who believes in authenticity, who believes in being authentic, who also believes in God. Like I can't take them seriously. But I knew he was gonna go here because not too long ago he went on this whole diatribe about how if you're in the black community, you should be completely ostracized if you voted for Donald Trump. If you voted for Donald Trump or you voted for Republicans or anything of that nature, he's basically saying you need to be thrown out of black culture, thrown out of black society as a whole, right? Just tossed completely out, right? So I already knew it wasn't going to take long. It wasn't going to take long. See, I keep telling y'all, regardless of what type of issue you black men have with white men, and regardless of what type of issue you white men have with black men, this is not a war. This is not a war that is separated. Y'all need to understand this. When they get up there and when they get on the news and they say, you know, when Ilhan Omar and some of the other Democrats get up there and say that the biggest problem in America is white men, right? And then you hear this individual, Funky Comadina or whatever his name is, when you hear this individual saying that the biggest problem in the black community is straight black men, y'all need to understand those two things are not separate. I know you want to believe they're separate because you've grown up in this society that is trained you to see everything through the lens of race. Those two things are not separate. Because it's not about you being a black man or a white man as much as it is about you being a straight man. Y'all need to understand this. Y'all need to understand this. This is a war on masculinity. I've been saying this ever since I got on the internet. Their main target is straight men. Their main target is the corruption or the erasure of masculinity. That's what this is all about. This is the whole reason why they have a problem with the right. The right is the only place where you're going to see masculine men. And how they veil their hatred for masculinity is they love to try to put it on white men. That way they can use the history of this country to pretend like that's what they really got the issue with. Right? So they'll sit back and they'll say, well, we have an issue with white men because white men have traditionally been oppressors. Look at slavery, look at Jim Crow. That's what they do. They're trying to hide their hatred for masculinity behind the veil of we hate oppressors. And that's the main reason why, if you notice in the community, they are trying their best to attach you black men, any of you that display masculinity, any of you that try to behave in any type of patriarchal way, they try to attach you to the concept of white oppressive patriarchy because they have to hide what their true intention is. Their true intention is they hate masculinity. That's their true intention. That's why if you'll notice when it comes to the rainbow community, if you notice, all of them are overly represented everywhere except for the studs, except for the biological women that transition into men. Have you noticed they don't really have that large of a platform? Have you noticed that? Have you noticed they don't really have that large of a platform? When you look at the rainbow community, if you'll notice, the only ones that are kind of downplayed are the ones that transition from femininity to masculinity. Those that transition from masculinity to femininity, they get a huge platform. They get promoted more than anything. And the reason why is because that movement is a feminine movement. The same way the left is feminine centric. The same way the Democrats are feminine centric. You look at the Democrat Party, you don't see no masculine men. You don't see no masculine men. Even when you look at our community, right? All of the dudes that proclaim that they're Democrats or whatever, right? Really, they're conservatives. They're just too stupid to know it. But this is a war on masculinity. This is a war on masculinity. And like I said, I knew it wasn't the moment that he started with the anti-Trump, anti-conservative rhetoric. I knew it wasn't going to be too long before he started to go in on straight black men. I knew that was coming. I knew he was going to go there because I don't know if y'all have noticed this or not, but I'm going to point this out. And I've been pointing it out for a while, and it seems, a lot of people think that it's some sort of conspiracy. It's not. If you look at our media, and when I say our media, I'm talking about black media. I'm talking about anywhere where you see black faces. They hate straight men. They hate us. You understand me? They hate us. Do you think that like this individual, he be on Fox Soul? Do you think I would be able to be a regular on Fox Soul if all I did was sit around and spew hateful rhetoric about black women? If all I did was sit around and spew hateful rhetoric about the left and Democrats the way he spews rhetoric, do you really think that I'd be a regular on that TV show? For a very long time, and this is part of the reason why I have an issue with the black community. Part of the reason I have an issue with the black community is because the only men in our media that we give props to are dudes like that. Men, the only place where you'll find masculine men when it comes to black men is on YouTube. So independent media. Independent media. And guess what? That was by accident. Because they had no idea that YouTube was going to be as big as it is. If they would have known that, trust and believe, it would have been some gatekeeping going on. I've been saying this for a long time, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. If you notice when you look at male content creators that are white, you can find countless male content creators that are white, that are masculine, that have large platforms. I'm talking about huge platforms, right? And the reason why is because they have always been able to express their masculinity. Now, don't get it wrong. Their masculinity is under attack too. They would love to, you know, shut that type of movement down, right? But there's a reason why it's more difficult for them to shut the white male masculine movement down, and we'll get to that in a second. But when it comes to black men, right, they nip that shit in the bud early because they never intended for black men to be masculine in the first place. Now, the interesting thing about it is it's our community that perpetuates this. The moment that black men gain enough freedom to display their masculinity unapologetically, the first thing that our people do, or our women and their rainbow buddies do, is they try to vilify us by making ridiculous statements like, oh, the only reason you want to be masculine is because you want to be white men. As if white men own the freaking patent to being masculine. But that's how they shame us. I watch them do this shit to y'all all the time. I watch black women sit on panels and gaslight you chumps and convince you that if you display any type of patriarchal masculinity, any type of leadership, any type of I'm in charge, they gaslight you into thinking, oh, you just trying to be like white men, and you have to understand that white men's masculinity is toxic. Says who? Says who? Now, some of you might say, well, Angry Man, hold on one second, bro. You said that when it comes to white men on YouTube, you can find countless channels that are masculine, traditionally masculine. Are you trying to say that white men are favored? No, not trying to say that. It ain't a racist thing. What it is that white men are used to white men being masculine. So white men will support other white men that are masculine. They'll get behind those men. Part of the reason Andrew Tate was so freaking big is because even though he got a black father, he looked like a white boy. And that's just real. Okay, the reason why an Andrew Tate, a Sneeko, any of the guys you see that are white guys, right? The reason why they have big platforms is because the white boys and black men are going to get behind that. But it's mostly, masculine black men will get behind that. But the reason why they're able to grow to such large numbers is because there's a large number of the white male population that want to see masculine men and hear masculine men's opinions. The problem with us over on this side in our community is we got too many single mother raised men that view masculine black men as toxic, just like this chump talking about we're a cancer to society. This is the reason why it's so difficult for us on this side to build platforms that are large, that are traditionally masculine, because most of our men want to be up under the damn apron of our women. You see them. I know you see them like on Tonight's Conversation and all of these. We see this all the time where all of these dudes is sitting up there on a co-ed panel with black women and they sitting up there all meek and, well, you know, what I think is in order for us, you know, brothers to be able, you know, to fully support and uplift our women is we have to be healed. You know, we have to be emotionally available and emotionally intelligent, you know, because until we're able to heal ourselves and support you, beautiful queens, we won't be able to shut the fuck up. I can't wait for you niggas to be a thing of the damn past. You have no earthly idea. I'm looking at you, Ace Metaphor. You don't like it? We can have a conversation about it. You and any of them other dudes that be sitting on them panels talking like that. Tonight's conversation gonna get you a man, please. Do you think I'm bro, check this out. Fam, I bet you any amount of money they won't even speak on my name. I bet you any amount of money. How much money you want to bet? How much money you want to bet they don't even speak on my name? They don't want that smoke with me. You better start paying attention. You better start paying attention. You better start paying attention. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the way this works. When you have a show like that, that show is contingent. That show and the profitability of that show is contingent upon continuing to push the false narrative that they push. The last thing they want is for me to actually be able to challenge that shit. They don't want the bruh. If you, what's the best analogy for this? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I want you to keep this. I want you to understand this. If you don't understand nothing about the Angry Man, I'm going to say this so y'all can hear this crystal clear, right? The other night, we had about 2,000 people watching. Anytime I do my show at a decent hour, like if I do my show around 4 or 5 p.m. in the evening, we going to have 2,000 or more people watching live, right? Let me explain something to you. You don't have a YouTube channel that's damn near 1 million subscribers going live with over 1,000 live viewers, dropping pre-recorded videos that get 50 and 60 and 100,000 views, dropping YouTube shorts that get 50, 60, 100,000, sometimes millions of views, and niggas don't know who you are. They know who I am. So you have to ask yourself, when I call them out like this, why they don't address it? It's not because they don't know who I am. It's because they don't want that fucking smoke. You hear me? In fact, Obsidian critiqued Ace Metaphor, and Ace Metaphor came on his show. So trust and believe, if Ace Metaphor know Obsidian, he know me. Matter of fact, fuck all of this bullshit. All of them niggas know me because I was doing this shit before they came to the internet with their fucking grift. What you have to understand is shows like Tonight's Conversation and all of these other shows, they are grifts that were created off of the basis of going against niggas like me or the ideology of niggas like me. In other words, the only reason those shows exist is because of the black manosphere. That is plain and simple. They don't want that smoke with me because they want to continue their grift. See, niggas ain't as brave as white boys. See, a white boy leftist like, say, Destiny, he'll debate Andrew Wilson. He'll debate pretty much anybody on you know, he'll debate any of them white boys that represent masculinity and conservatism and all of that. See, when you look at black folks, niggas is cowards. Niggas is cowards. And they do that because they understand they don't have to debate us. See, in the white dynamic, in order for you to get respect as a man, you have to get that respect from other men. So on the white side, whether you see on the white side, the women don't have as much pull as they do on the black side. See, in white culture, women don't have as much pull as women do on the black side. If I looked at the white side, you can't tell me who the white equivalent to Cynthia G is. You can't tell me who the white equivalent is to Kendra G. You can't tell me who the white equivalent is to any of those women on our side that get all of that notoriety. You can't tell me who that is because it don't exist. And even if it do exist, nobody gives a shit on that side. On that side, if the left is going to be represented, it has to be represented by the men. It has to be represented by people like Destiny. It has to be represented because that's the only way they can get respect on that side. Even if they're on the left, they still have to be in the realm of men in order to get the respect. See, on this side, Derek Jackson's, the Ace Metaphors, they don't have to debate none of us conservative men because all they have to do is get the love, admiration, and support of black women, and they don't got to have a conversation with us. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. See, we've allowed the women to take over our culture so thoroughly with the help of mainstream media because they played a major role in that shit too, right? But in our culture, the women have so thoroughly taken over that all of the men that come into media, all they have to do is pander to the women. Because our entire ecosystem, it revolves around the women in one way or another. See, even though Kevin critiqued the women, part of the reason Kevin's channel blew up the way it did was because women were coming on his show. Black women were coming on his show. Black women were watching his show because they were outraged at the things that he said. There were some black women that agreed with him, but there were some black women that were outraged at what he said. So even though he was critiquing black women, he was still getting support from black women, whether they like them or not. But that's the reason why, the reason why there was so much contention and why they had issues with Kevin is because he was getting the support of the black women, but he was getting the support from them while critiquing them. They would much prefer he get their support pandering to them the way Derek Jackson did. But our entire ecosystem, so whenever you Negroes want to come in here and you want to say, well, Angry Man, why you ain't as big as Kevin Samuels? Why you ain't as big as Fresh and Fit? Why you ain't as big as whatever podcast? Because I don't sit up here with women on my show. My brand is not built on the support of women. I'm one of the few black men that operates the way a lot of the white boys operate. There's white boys out there that got platforms. They don't have to pander to their women in order to be successful. But as black men, we have to in order to be big. And what I've been trying my best to do is I've been trying my best to prove to y'all that it's possible. I've been trying to prove to y'all that it's possible for us black men to build our platform, and we don't have to pander to the women in order to be successful. Now, is it a hard road? Absolutely. Has it been rough for me? Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you look at what I've been doing, I've been really doing some pioneering shit. If you really want to be honest, some trailblazing shit. Because if you're a black content creator, if you're a black male content creator, I don't care how you talk. I don't care if you talk more right-leaning shit or you talk more left-leaning shit, right? Eventually, you're going to have them women on your panel. Eventually, you're going to have them women on your show. Eventually. Because we're so... It's crazy because I hear black women saying they need to decenter themselves from men. Like, when have y'all been male-centered? Y'all ain't never been male-centered. But see, that's what they do. That's what black women do. They commandeer our struggle so that we never get to address our struggle. I'm going to say that again. Black women commandeer black men's struggle so that we never get to address our struggle. They have us chasing ghosts because we're always trying to address a struggle that they don't have. They'll sit there and act like, oh, the problem with black women is that they're male-centered. Black women ain't never been male-centered, but black men are definitely female-centered. Everything a black man do is based on what black women do. Everything. You tell a black man, hey man, your mama ain't shit. He ready to crash out and go to prison for the rest of his life because you said something about his mama, a woman you don't even know. You say something about a white guy's mama, he don't give a shit. You sitting on a panel having a debate with Andrew Wilson and you say, hey, Andrew, your mama ain't shit. He gonna be like, is that your argument? Is that really what you want to, like, is that where you want to go with that? See, this is the real deal Holyfield. It don't get no realer. Right? Ace Metaphor ain't crazy. The whole reason why he started tonight's conversation and included women in this shit is because he knew he wouldn't be able to get that motherfucker off the ground without the women on that shit. He knew that. He knew that. And that's the main reason why the vast majority of black male content creators, they have to figure out some kind of way to incorporate the women into it. It just is what it is. They have to incorporate the women into it some kind of way. Some kind of way. And I refuse. I refuse. I have absolutely no problem with there being women in the chat room, all of that. But I'm not going to build my show off of, I'm not going to build my show off of, you know, women being on the panel to say things that I know I'm going to disagree with so we can argue back and forth. I don't got time for that shit. I don't got time for that shit because it's getting to the point where your biggest problem, black men, is not women. It's not the women. It's you. It's you. So while Funky Cole Medina wants to say that black men are a cancer to the black community, that's not true. But I will tell you this, black men have become a problem for themselves. You've become a problem for yourselves. And as long as you have that ideology that has been infused in you by these women, you're gonna always be in conflict with yourself, which means that you're, let me break this down for you, right? Any man that has an internal conflict is a non-factor. And the reason why they want you to be a non-factor is because if you're having self-conflict, self-doubt, unsure of yourself, battling yourself and what you should and shouldn't do, if you're going through that, you're going to be out of the way so that that woman can run everything. See, the real reason that the women in our community don't want, the real reason black women don't want you black men mimicking white men's brand of masculinity is because it will work. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. It's not because they're afraid you're going to become a slave master. White men of today ain't slave masters. It's not because you're going to become oppressive. It's because you're going to end up taking your rightful place at the head of the damn family. It's because you're going to end up taking your rightful place at the head of the household. That's the only reason. They're using the concept of white patriarchy and everything they claim it entails, which is supposed to be oppression and abuse and all of these things. They're using that to try to keep you in a place of effeminate masculinity, a form of pseudo masculinity where they dictate for you how you're supposed to function and how you're supposed to behave. And see, if they can successfully do that, they can continue running the show. This is the main reason why when you're on panels with these women and you ask them, what do you do to be a good woman? The first thing they say out of their mouth is they'll say, well, I allow my man to lead. I allow him to be the man. You need to really pay attention to those words. Allow. It's just like the other night I was on Trey's panel and there was a chick up there talking crazy and I went up there to talk shit. because she was trying to explain to the brothers what leadership is. She was trying to explain to the brothers what leadership is. And I'm going to keep it all the way funky with you. A woman trying to explain to a man what leadership is like a tortoise trying to explain to a cheetah what speed is. Let me say that again. A woman trying to explain to a man what leadership is like a tortoise trying to explain to a cheetah what speed is. But wait a minute, Angry Man, are you saying that women can't be leaders to other women? Absolutely. See, a tortoise can explain to a snail what speed is. He just can't explain to a cheetah what speed is. It's relative. And I know it's going to be people that go say, oh, that's misogynistic. So what? Call it whatever you want to call it. Call it whatever you want to call it. The biggest problem with us as black men is we don't know how to unapologetically be men. We don't know how to unapologetically be men. Now, here's the funniest thing about it. The funniest thing about it is this whole Funky Comedina talking about some, oh, black men are a cancer to the black community. Oh, really? Well, guess what? This current batch of black men, guess who raised them? Guess who raised them? Because I guarantee you, if he were to be speaking on a time period when we had intact family units, I guarantee you probably never heard him say out of his mouth that the black men of the past, the ones that were raised with fathers and mothers in the household, were a cancer. So what changed? What changed? Tell you what changed. What changed is the absence of fathers in those households, not because the fathers didn't want to be there, but because the fathers couldn't cohabitate with those women. They couldn't live with them. They couldn't live with them. In fact, I can go right now. I can go right now to YouTube, and I can show you countless. I can show you countless shows from white guys where they actually display masculinity, and they don't have to pander to their women. Greg Gutfield doesn't have to pander to his women in order to have a platform, right? Tucker Carlson, as much as I can't stand him, he doesn't have to pander to his women to have a platform. Who else? Adam Carolla doesn't have to pander to his women to have a platform. Joe Rogan doesn't have to pander to his women to have a platform. Like, I can't think of everybody's name, but look, I could run down the list. I could run down the list. There's so many male non-black content creators that do not have to pander to their women in order to build, keep, maintain, and grow a platform. They don't have to do it. Tim Pool does not have to pander to his women. He doesn't. He doesn't. Nerderotic does not have to pander to his women. I could go through every category. I don't care if the white guy is talking about politics. I don't care if he's talking about relationships. I don't care if he's talking about comic books. I don't care if he's talking about movies. I don't care if he's talking about TV shows. I don't care if he's talking about sports. White men do not have to pander to white women in order to grow, maintain, and keep a platform. They don't have to do it. But black men, the moment you create a platform, you gotta get on bended knee like boys to men. You gotta worship at the throne of the golden uterus. You gotta pander. Now, many of us came to the internet and we tried to destroy that. We tried to put an end to that. But guess what? For the same reason them white boys don't got to pander to their women, it's also the reason we were not able to successfully pull the men away from the bondage of the matriarchy. Because when them white boys do that, white men support it. White men support it. When we try to create a space for men where we build off of masculinity and not have to pander to the women, you know who our biggest opposition was? Other black men. Other black men. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. See, some people will sit back and they'll say, "Oh, well, the reason why the white boys got bigger platforms than the black boys is because, you know, white men, they got a bigger platform than black men because of racism." It ain't racism. It ain't racism. It's because white men will support masculinity faster than black men will support masculinity. If you have a masculine white guy that's talking his shit, white dudes ain't gonna be like, "Oh, that's toxic." You ain't never heard no white guy say, "We need to uphold our white queens." You ain't never heard it. You ain't never gonna hear it. And the reason why is because they, for the most part, the masculine white men, they don't allow their women to manipulate them in that way. But on our side of the fence, we allow them to manipulate us all day. They love to commandeer our struggle. They love to commandeer everything. Let me tell you something. Everything that black women complain about is really the problems that black men deal with. But they have convinced black men that they don't have those problems and that black men need to help black women solve those problems that black women have. But the reality is they don't have them problems. Like, I'll give you a prime example. They'll say, "Oh, black women are the most disrespected. You black men need to help us with the problem of black women being the most disrespected." And if you, as a black man, take on that task, it's an exercise in futility because black women aren't the most disrespected. Black men are the most disrespected. So they're tricking you to fight their battle that they don't really have, while ignoring your battle that you actually have. I'm going to say that again. They're tricking you into fighting their fictitious battle while you ignore your actual battle. But wait a minute, Angry Man, what do you mean black women aren't the most disrespected? Have you ever seen black women get to fighting in the store? How many people ignore that shit? Have you ever seen black women get to cursing somebody out and every person of every other race do one of these numbers? Go pull up some of them videos of cops pulling over black women and look at some of the things that black women get away with. If it was a black man behaving like that, he'd have been shot. He'd have been shot. They're not the most disrespected. It's not true. It's not true. The only reason they try to pretend they're the most disrespected is because they think when someone doesn't agree with them, that's disrespect. So if you don't agree that black women should be wearing bonnets outside, they say that's disrespectful. That's not disrespectful. That's just you having an opinion about something they're doing. Right? But anytime you don't agree with them, to them, that's disrespect. The only way you can respect them is you have to agree with everything they do, no matter what it is. But again, like I said, they have convinced you to fight a fictitious battle. In other words, a false flag. A false flag. They've got you fighting a battle that don't even exist. Which just results, look, all of the things that they complain about, that they convince you black men to fight for, it doesn't serve. It's like this, right? It's greed. It's greed and it's narcissism. I used this analogy before, right? I used this analogy before. Let's say you have a black man and a black woman, right? And let's say they're homeless. And every day, this church gives out sandwiches to the homeless people, right? But the reality is they can only give one sandwich to each person. So a black man and a black woman go up to the church and the person comes out and they hand everybody a sandwich. The black women take their sandwich and they put it behind their back and they hide it. And they say, I didn't get a sandwich. I didn't get one. Right? Now, before, what they were doing is they were complaining to the church and the church would just give them more sandwiches. But the church has gotten to the point where they don't have enough surplus sandwiches to give everybody multiple sandwiches, and they've peeped black women's game. So what black women are doing now is they'll complain to the men. And so when you have the men getting their individual sandwich and the women getting their sandwich, the women put the sandwiches behind their back and say to the men, see, this is what happens. They don't want to take care of us. Nobody wants to make sure we're straight. You black men need to make sure we're straight. And so what black men do is they hand them their sandwich. And then the black women walk off with 2 sandwiches and the black man standing there with no sandwich. And then the black women sit over there and eat both of their sandwiches and say to the black, and then the black men say, hey, wait a minute. How you get 2 sandwiches? What about us? What we gonna eat? Well, if you were real men, we wouldn't need to go to the church to get sandwiches. You would be providing the sandwiches. Next day, black men and black women go to the church. They do the same thing. They get their sandwich, put it behind their back. Black men get their sandwich. They look at the black men. We don't got no sandwiches. And black men's stupid asses keep handing them their damn sandwiches. Y'all realize since the 70s, you black men have been sacrificing every single cause that is specific to you for them. They can get legislation passed to wear their hair the way they want to wear their hair, but you can't stop the police from whooping your ass. And they trick you every time. Every single time. Well, what about black girls? What about black women? They've been doing it forever. How long are y'all gonna fall for it? I literally saw a video the other day with Lorenz Tate and Nia Long talking about when me and Lorenz Tate was on the set of the movie, the thing that he did that I love the most is he made sure that it was safe for me as a black woman. Man, get the... I'm tired of their grift, bro. I'm tired of their grift. The only individual in this country that has been the most neglected, the most disrespected, the most disenfranchised, the most emasculated is the black man. And see, white women can't do the white boys like that. Because the white boys are smart enough to see the hustle. They like, nah, you ain't gonna do us like that. You ain't gonna do us like that. Like, fans, you look at somebody like Destiny with all of his feminist rhetoric. Destiny is a laughing stock amongst the men in his culture. He's a laughing stock. Any of the men that are super left-leaning, man, they come up with all kinds of names for them. They call them white knights. They call them soy boys. They eviscerate them. The men that act like that in our culture, they get rewarded. I can't name how many niggas I done seen interview freaking Yada Awakening, whatever his name is, that goofy nigga. I can't name how many people that you know who they won't interview? Masculine black men. The only masculine black man with traditional values that I've seen them interviewing lately is Anton Daniels. And you see how the culture feels about him. That's a prime example. That's a prime example. Even that back and forth between him and Corey Holcomb is a prime example. Even that's a prime example. Here you have a black conservative man on your platform, and the only thing you want to do is you want to try to start some shit with him and try to punk him. Why? Because you're trying to impress these black women out here. Let's be real. Let's be real. And the rest of you niggas running around the damn space right now with all your criticism about Anton, y'all niggas are a joke, fam. You're a joke, and you're the main reason that we don't never have shit. We as black men don't have shit because of y'all. We don't have shit because of y'all. If I'm over here, if I want to do just pure masculine content, if I want to do content where I just talk about what us men need to do for us, not for everybody else. If I want to have content where I talk about what we as black men need to do for each other to improve each other, my biggest detractors are going to be other black men. My biggest trolls are going to be other black men. The people that's going to make videos about me talking crazy about me is going to be other black men. You niggas are slaves. You are thoroughly trained by the matriarchy. You're a bunch of male hyenas, and you be trying your best to pretend that you not. Be trying to hide that shit behind morality and shit. Well, I don't agree with Anton because he didn't live up to what he... Shut the fuck up. Whatever happened to solidarity? Whatever happened to, yo, you know what? I don't necessarily agree with what he got going on, but I'm not going to go against him in front of these chicks. I'm not going to give these chicks more ammo to go against yet another masculine man. Because you know what? I'm going to tell you the funny thing. Funky Comedina here, he did this video, and I ain't seen none of you Anton haters doing videos talking shit about him. Because you know better. Because you know better. You know the only people you can go at are the people that your master tells you to go at. If that black woman don't have a problem with that person, you better not have a problem with that person. But if that black woman don't like that person, you better jump your ass up here like a circus seal and start clapping. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? You tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me when I'm saying some shit that ain't true. See, ain't nobody gonna ask the question. Ain't nobody gonna ask the question, but I'll ask the question. What the hell is wrong with the black community having masculine men? That's the question. What in the hell is wrong with the black community having masculine men? What's wrong with it? Why does every other group of men on this planet, Latin men, white men, Middle Eastern men, Asian men, why does every other group get to display their masculinity with no problem? Why are we the only group that's constantly being talked down to by our women, that's constantly being lectured by our women, that's constantly being checked by our women, like you niggas don't have a pair? You know the only way they'll accept your masculinity? This is what's so funny about this. This is what's so hilarious about this. The only way they'll accept your masculinity is if it is toxic. That's what's so funny about it. That's what's so funny about it. These women, they could be in a relationship with a Carlton Banks type of dude. He better not raise his voice. But you'll get in a relationship with a 50 Cent type of dude, and he could be whooping your ass every day, and you won't tell a soul. Go ahead and tell me I'm lying. Go ahead and tell me I'm lying. Go ahead and tell me I'm lying. The only way our women in our culture will accept our masculinity is the toxic form of it. If you're in a relationship with a dude that has a good job, makes good money, pays the bills, takes care of everything he's supposed to take care of, you can't accept him saying to you, look, I don't want to have this discussion. So go over there and have a seat and chill out. To you, that's disrespectful. But if you with old thug ass drug dealing nigga and he says to you, bitch, shut the fuck up, you go somewhere and sit down. Why is that? Why is that? See, I'm going to tell you what I think it is, in my opinion. I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I think that is your diabolical way of conditioning us. I think that the only reason you want us to display our masculinity in a toxic way is so that you can forever say we ain't shit. That's what I think. I think you show us that you'll be submissive to Pookie, but you won't be submissive to Carlton Banks, so that you condition us to think that the only way to be is like Pookie. Because if we all operate like Carlton Banks, you can't tell the world we ain't shit. If we operate like Carlton Banks and the relationship don't work, you can't use us as the scapegoat. You might actually have to take accountability for what you did. Because if we operate like Carlton Banks, you can't turn around to everybody you know and say, oh my God, he was such a horrible person. And that's the reason why the relationship ended, because he cheated and he used to abuse me. So you can't say that about Carlton Banks, because everybody that know Carlton Banks is going to be like, nah, he ain't that type of dude. It makes it more difficult for you to play the victim. See, if you get with old thug ass nigga and he's whooping your ass and cursing you out and shit, when the relationship go bad, well, he was abusive and he was this and he was that. I told you niggas ain't shit. Shit is diabolical. Shit is diabolical. But you know what it tells you? It proves to you one thing. If you're willing to submit to somebody that is abusive, you could submit to somebody that ain't abusive. If you're willing to be quiet when somebody curse you out, you should be able to, if you're able to be quiet when somebody curses you out, you can be quiet when somebody asks you to be quiet. That's what that proves. That's what that proves. It proves that if you can stop flapping and bumping your gums when somebody curses you out, you can stop bumping your gums when somebody asks you nicely to stop. But again, like I said, you get with the Carlton Banks type guy and run over him because you want to train us to be sorry ass niggas. Because if we're always sorry ass niggas, then people like Funky Comedina can get up there and say that we're a cancer to the black community, and you can continue being glorified, even though you ain't hitting on shit either. If we continue to view the black man as being sorry, inferior, abusive, oppressive, then we ain't never got to shine a spotlight on your bullshit, do we? Tell the truth. That's the real reason why many of you had a problem with guys like me that came into this space, because we said, look, we're not trying to hear all of that black men ain't shit. We want to look at what you doing. We want to put a spotlight on you, what you're doing. Let's put a spotlight on what you're doing. Let's talk about these 300 and some thousand baby deletions every year. Let's talk about this STI rate. Let's talk about this rate of children being delinquent with 90% that come from single mother household. Let's talk about all of this shit. And guess what? The moment we shine a light on they bullshit, here come black men. Why you gotta be talking about the sisters? Why you gotta be talking about our queens? Why you gotta be? And I don't know if you peep this or not. I'll point it out. Them same niggas, the moment you start talking about black women and the shit they do wrong, them same niggas that's quick to shut you up, bring up some shit that black men do wrong and watch them sit there and have a 5-hour conversation about it. You niggas ain't shit. The funniest thing about it is every single time you've said something about black women jump out there and say, oh, you hate yourself. You want to know what's funny about that? They was right. You do hate yourself. But it's not because you're talking about black women. You hate yourself because you don't think you're shit. Out of all the men in the world, you are the lowest self-esteem having men on the planet. All it takes is for another man to say, suck his D, and you ready to crash out and go to prison for the rest of your life. You are the lowest self-esteem group of men on the damn planet. And you shouldn't be surprised because your mothers raised you that way. Your mothers raised you to have self-esteem, have low self-esteem. You want to know the reason why little white kids yell at their mama and their mama don't really do nothing to them? You want to know why little white boys buck at their mama and they mama don't try to go get anything they can find and beat the hell out of them, all that? You know why they don't do that? Because those white women understand that eventually them little boys gonna have to grow up to be men. The problem with the black community is that your women don't never want you to grow up to be men. They want you to grow up to be boys that they can control. They want you to grow up to be boys in men's bodies that they can control. Here's the funny thing. The funny thing is they don't even know what the hell they're doing, because now they got a bunch of grown men with little boy mentalities that they can't control. And now that the shit is hitting the fan with these YNs and how they behaving and stuff, you know who they're going to blame? You. They're going to blame all you men. The reason why that boy ain't shit is because you wasn't there. The reason why that boy ain't shit is because you didn't go to his basketball game. The reason why that boy ain't shit is because you didn't live in the household with him and read bedtime stories to him. No, maybe he ain't shit because you raised him. Maybe that's why he ain't shit. Sure, you could try to say, oh, well, he's this way because you weren't there. But when we going to talk about him being that way because you were there? When we going to talk about that? When we going to talk about these boys being raggedy and trifling and a quote unquote cancer to the society or the black community as a whole because these women raised them that way? When we going to talk about that? When we going to talk about that? You don't even see your kid every damn day, but some kind of way you had the biggest influence on how he was raised. Are you serious? See, that's another one of them lies. And you know how we know it's a lie? This is how we know it's a lie. Because if that boy's father is absent and he grow up to be a thug and go to prison, his mama gonna say, well, you know, I did the best I could, but the reason why he in prison is because his daddy wasn't there for him. His daddy didn't raise him. His daddy didn't teach him. Oh, okay. So because his father wasn't there, that's the reason why he ain't shit. But if that same boy grow up to become an NBA player, then you take all the credit for his upbringing. When he gets signed to that damn contract and he's standing there with the jersey, you standing right there beside him with the team hat on, talking about some, yeah, you know, I raised him that way, you know, I did it all by myself. So when the outcome is good, it's 100% you. But when the outcome is bad, it's 100% the father that was absent. Get the fuck out of here. Like, when are we going to start calling these liars out for what they are? Liars. And by the way, I didn't mean for this to be a rant, but I'm getting pissed off. I ain't even going to lie. I'm getting pissed off. Yo, we need somebody to sponsor the show. We got 1,354 people in here, and we barely got any support. We need some support. We need somebody to sponsor the show on the Cash App side of the game. Hit the super chat. Support the show. I'm pissed off because I'm tired. I'm tired of the image of black men being drugged. I'm tired of it. We're always the fucking scapegoat. No matter what happens, it's always Jermaine's fault. I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of this shit, bruh. And it don't matter what you do as a black man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Folks is always going to find something wrong with what you do simply because you're a black man. And everybody is trained and conditioned to see the worst in black men, no matter what. I remember thinking to myself one time, this is when I first started knowing Anton Daniels, right? When I first heard his situation and his story, I'm like, damn. So here you have a guy that graduated, married his high school sweetheart, had one kid, said he only wanted to have one kid because he wanted to focus all of his energy and attention into that one kid, which means his child was planned. He don't got no baby mamas. He don't got no kids outside of his marriage. His wife don't got no kids outside of his marriage. He's successful, multimillionaire. I said, damn, he did shit the right way. I said, it's going to be hard for them to freaking come at him crazy. I keep forgetting he's still a black man. I keep forgetting he's still a black man. Meanwhile, on the flip side, you got Andrew Wilson. You look at his situation. There's no way that a black man in Andrew Wilson's situation would be as big as he is. There's no way. They would have called him all kinds of stepdaddies and simps and everything else you could think of. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you are a black man? And to everybody in here that's non-black, this is not me trying to put you on the spot, and this is not me trying to talk about racism per se. This is me talking about the general consensus when it comes to the image of black men. What do you do when you're a black man, and no matter what you do, no matter how righteous you try to be, you're still going to get labeled some goofy ass shit? What do you do? What do you do? See, the messed up thing, and you know, some of y'all may not understand this, but the messed up thing for black men is we don't have to be in prison. We're prisoners in our own skin. We're prisoners in our own skin. We're prisoners of our image. And the saddest part about it is, even though black people didn't create that image for black men, it doesn't matter, because it's black people that keep us in that cage. Because anytime one of us tries to break free of that cage, somebody like me, somebody like Anton Daniels, somebody like Kevin Samuels, so anytime one of us, somebody like Obsidian, Mumia Obsidian Ali, whenever we try to break out of Tommy, whenever we try to break out of that cage, it's other black people that look at us like, why are you trying to break out of this cage? Get your ass back in this cage. You ain't no different than the rest of us. Who do you think you are, nigga? It ain't even white people that's trying to keep us in that space. It's other black people in this day and age that's trying to keep us in that space. There's plenty of white guys that watch me. I ain't had not now white guy come in here and tell me, stay in your place. Not one. That's why when y'all niggas be running around here talking about white supremacy, I'm like, man, shut the hell up. My biggest issue ain't white supremacy. My biggest issue is black matriarchal supremacy. That's my biggest issue. It ain't white supremacy. It's black matriarchal supremacy. Shout out to Forever Studios for being a sponsor. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you for being a sponsor for this very important message. Because this ain't even centered on funky Dineva, whatever his name is. This ain't even centered on him, because he's just a cog in a much bigger machine. He's just a tool of that machine. This shit has been going on before him. He's just one small component in that damn agenda.
That's that BINO energy.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Shout out to Forever Studios. He said, blessings, Angry Man. I appreciate you, bro. And here's the reality. Reality is they would never be able to do this. If we as black men had the mentality that the white men have, they would never be able to do this shit to us. You pro-blacks, you can get upset at me making a statement like that. You could say what you want to say about white dudes, but guess what? Guess what? The one thing white dudes is doing right that you're not doing is they standing 10 toes down on their masculinity. They're standing 10 toes down on their masculinity. And if you really want to be truthfully honest, if it wasn't for those white guys standing 10 toes down on their masculinity, regardless of the fact that they're being called white supremacists, racists, and all types of other shit, we'd be screwed. Because if it was on us black men to carry the torch of masculinity, we'd be screwed. All of us men would be screwed. And that ain't me pandering. That's just me telling the damn truth, man. That's just me telling the truth. Ernestine said, not true. If we had our own land back, if you had your own land, you wouldn't be doing shit with it. You'd be doing the same. Man, look. Y'all need to look, let me tell you something. Y'all need to get y'all's delusional asses up out of here. Like, for real. If you niggas in America, if they say, you know what, as reparations, we have this landmass, this undiscovered landmass that we found that has plenty of resources on it. We're gonna allow all of the American blacks to go to that land and cultivate it and develop it, and you can have your own country. You know what your shit would be? Your shit would be Haiti. Your shit would be Jamaica. Or one of these underdeveloped African countries where you're so damn corrupt, you're fighting each other over power. That's what you would have. That's what you would have. That's what you would have. And the reason why you would have that is because you can't stop arguing with each other. You can't stop fighting each other long enough to do any damn thing. Not to mention the fact that you absolutely despise the concept of male leadership. So you ain't going to do shit in a world of men. You ain't doing shit in a world of men without male leadership. And you know why? Because you lack the one thing that other men have in masculinity. You lack one simple thing. It's one simple thing that you lack in your masculinity that other men have. Press 1 if you want to know what that is. There's one thing. There's one key thing that you lack in your masculinity that other group of men have. The ability to say, shut up, woman. I don't care what you're talking about. We're going to do this. You don't have that ability. You don't have the ability to be like, look, I don't care what you're talking about. I'm the man, and this is what we're going to do. You don't have that ability. You don't have that ability. The single mothers bred it out of you. You don't have that ability. Your social conditioning is contrary to that. You don't have the ability. The only way you can do anything is you have to have the validation and the approval of your mothers, your wives, your girlfriends, and pretty much all of the women in your culture. If the women in your culture don't agree with it, you ain't gonna do it. And see, your false premise is the fact that the women know better than you. If they know better than you, why the hell are we dead last? If they know better than you, why are we dead last? And guess what? The other men of the world, they don't have no problem with our culture being like that, because that's one less group of men they got to compete with. That's one less group of men that they have to compete with. So they don't give a shit. They don't care. In order for you to do anything, you have to have the approval and validation of your women. No other group of men operate like that. Asian men do not operate like that. Middle Eastern men do not operate like that. Latin men do not operate like that. White men do not operate like that. The women in our group, they are doing things based on how they feel shit should be. And that's the main reason why we keep ending up with these goofy situations. We are the only group of men. And I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't grow up around just black men. Maybe I've taken notice of what other men have done. Hell, maybe it's because it's just in me. Because even though both of my parents are black, if you go down the line, I got some other ethnicity in me. I've got other ethnicities in me. Maybe it's just in me. I don't know. Maybe it is genetic. I'm starting to really lean towards maybe it's genetic. Because I sit back and I watch how you men allow these women to rule you. To rule you. These women rule you so much that they will argue you down about the Bible. They will argue you down about God's word. You can tell them flat out, you do realize that God said man is supposed to rule over woman. Well, that's not what he meant. What he meant was, what? So now you're going to tell me what God meant? And here's the funny thing, because it just happened the other day when I was on the panel, right? I caught this woman in sort of like a gotcha moment. Like it was one of those moments where you've backed them into a corner and they have to acknowledge some shit. And she just completely shut down. She didn't want to have a conversation no more. You know what? I don't really have the energy to have this conversation. That's what they do. They truly have a it's my way or the highway mentality. How do you deal with that? The answer is you can't. The answer is you cannot. The only thing that you men can do, and in any other circumstances, I would not say this to you. In any other circumstances, I would not give you this advice. But drastic times call for drastic measures. Y'all got to leave them. The women that display that shit, you got to leave them in the dust. You have to get away from them. And when I say leave them, I mean utterly. Don't be having kids with them. If you having kids with them, you just perpetuating the problem. You shouldn't be having kids with them. You shouldn't be having sex with them. You shouldn't be dating them. You shouldn't be entertaining them in any way, shape, or form. If you come across any one of these women and they truly believe that black men are the problem of the black community, you need to get as far away from her as possible. You need to get in your car and drive till you run the hell out of gas. Get away from them. Give them what they want. They're saying you ain't shit. So do them a favor and get away from them. And when they try to stop you from leaving, which they will most certainly try to stop you, because in the back of their mind, they know you ain't the damn problem. They just want you to be the patsy so we can keep ignoring the fact that they're the problem. That's all that shit is. She's gonna try to stop you. And when she tries to stop you, you look her straight in the face and say, why would you want to be with me? I ain't shit, right? Walk out that door. Walk out that door, man. Get the hell away from, you cannot, as a man, you cannot build a community with a group of women that, one, do not trust your leadership, two, do not want to submit to you, and three, secretly want to be another group of men's women. Because the problem she give you, she ain't giving William Cartwright. The problem she give you, she ain't giving Jose. The problem she give you, she ain't giving Chang. The problems that she give you, she certainly ain't giving Muhammad. She only do that shit with you, Tyrone. And sooner or later, you're going to have to realize that shit. She'll take her ass to work and do everything her boss says. And then come home to you and tell you, you better not tell her shit. You better not ask her to do nothing. How do you do that? How do you live in a house with a woman that comes home and talks to you like you're her son, talks to you like you're a little boy? But when she at work, everything is yes, massa, no, massa, yes'm, no, sir. And if you say that to her, if you say, well, you go to work and you listen to your boss, it's my job. He pays me. That's why I listen to him. Oh, really? If she was getting off of work and it was nighttime and she walked out of that business into that parking lot and her boss was locking that door, if he saw somebody attack her, you know what he gonna do? He gonna lock that damn door. He ain't gonna open that door and run out there to try to protect her. But your stupid ass will. So who should she really be listening to? Who should she really be listening to? Who should she really be listening to? Well, let me tell you something. My wife does not go outside of this house by herself after 11 o'clock at night. And the reason why she doesn't do that, because I've made it clear, she don't need to be out after 11 o'clock at night. Now, some of you goofballs will say, oh, you trying to act like her daddy and this, that, and third. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If my wife is outside of the house after 11 o'clock at night, going to a store or a gas station or something, somebody attacks her, do you know who her family gonna look at? They're gonna look at me. They're gonna say, well, where were you at? See, what modern women don't understand is in order for your man to properly protect you, you have to listen to him. You have to listen to him and actually adhere to what he's telling you to do. Now, if my wife gotta go out after 11 o'clock to go do something, cool, come get me, I'll go with you. Come get me, we'll go together. What about you, Angry Man? Do you be out after 11? I can. You know why? If I go out here and I walk down the street at 3 in the morning, anybody that see me walking down the street at 3 in the morning is more scared of what I got going on than what they got going on. I'm not worried at 3 in the morning. My wife being out at 3 in the morning walking the street is like a bunny rabbit. Me being out 3 in the morning walking the street is like a wolf. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. But our women, they don't understand this. They don't understand this. They don't understand this. In order for me to properly protect you, you have to be willing to listen to me. That's just like if you were, let's say you were like a head of state. Let's say that you were like a congressman or somebody, right? And you got bodyguards. You can't disobey those bodyguards because they can't properly protect you if you don't listen to them. Somebody's trying to shoot you and they knock you out of the way. You can't be mad later that they knocked you out of the way. I can't believe you hit me. I can't believe you put hands on me. I'm bruised up. Nick, motherfucker, I saved your life. I saved your life. But they've even denied you that. The women in our culture have even denied you your ability to be a protector. They've denied you every single thing that goes with masculinity. They've denied you the ability to be a protector. They've denied you the ability to be a leader. They've denied you the ability to be a provider. And then they turn around and complain because you're not those things. Because this world has trained them to hate your guts. And then they get mad at white women because they feel like white women enjoy some sort of privilege that they don't have. Well, here's the thing. You can't be jealous of those women because you're not willing to do what those women do. Every other group of women that you look at that you feel like is more protected, that you feel like is more provided for, those are women that come from cultures where they're submissive to their men. Their men feel obligated to protect them, obligated to take care of them, obligated to make sure they're straight, because those women are not trying to overrule their men. They're not trying to overpower their men. They're not trying to be the one in charge. And then you'll have guys, you'll have black men that will get into relationships with non-black women. And then the black women will try to hit them with the, oh, why you in that relationship? You'll never have the same type of bond. Same type. What? We don't got no bond. We don't got no bond. Just imagine if you gave black men, just imagine, to all the black women, just imagine if you gave straight black men the same respect, the same reverence that you give the funky Dinevas of the world. Just imagine. You want to know what I noticed when it comes to the men in the Rainbow Committee? Y'all don't disrespect them. Y'all don't talk to them crazy. I've watched them check y'all. Just imagine if you women gave straight black men the same respect and the same reverence that you give men that are part of the Rainbow Committee. You not gonna talk crazy to Funky Dineva. You not gonna talk crazy to Saucy Santana. You not gonna talk crazy to none of them. You ain't gonna disrespect them. But I've seen them check y'all numerous times. What's the one light-skinned dude's name? He said something crazy one time that y'all had a problem with, and he checked y'all so fast it made your damn head spin. Stop me when you hear a lie, stop me. When you hear me telling a lie, just go ahead and stop me. When you hear a lie, just go ahead and stop me. Hold on, we got a couple more sponsors. Yo, shout out to Beloved Peace. Beloved Peace said black men are always criticized for not being perfect. Facts.
That's that BINO energy.
It's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, chums,
ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Shout out to Harold. He said for the truth and motivation.
That's that BINO energy.
Boy, it's good.
It's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, chums,
ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Like we're never as men, we're never going to get the respect we deserve if we keep allowing them to disrespect us. And some of you might say, well, what do you mean allow, Angry Man? So what are we supposed to do? Disengage. Disengage. You know what we used to say back in the day? We used to say, vote with your feet. Black men need to vote with their feet. The only way they are going to learn is to leave them alone. And I need you to keep this in mind. Black men, you got more power than you think. Because for the most part, they don't have any other options but you. Because no other group of men are going to tolerate that shit. So they got two choices. They can either go get with another group of men, which they're going to have to fix their behavior, or they're not going to fix their behavior with you and you ain't going to deal with them. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they're going to have to fix their behavior, period. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. The only way that they won't have to fix their behavior is if you simping ass dudes keep accepting it, keep tolerating it, keep dealing with them, even though they are disrespecting you. Exactly. Take your ball and go home. Take your ball and go home. Stop trying to stop trying to kick the football. Lucy ain't gonna let you kick it. Lucy is not gonna let you kick that football, Charlie Brown. Take your football and go home. Stop putting yourself in that position to be embarrassed. Stop putting yourself in that position to be laying on your back looking crazy as hell. Stop it. Because she's not going to let you kick that football. I don't care what she promises you. I don't care. She's not going to let you kick that football. And just so y'all know, look, if you look, I don't know how many of y'all grew up watching the Peanuts, right? Go back and look at Charlie Brown's experiences. Charlie Brown, but when you look at it, think of Charlie Brown as a black man. Think of Charlie Brown as a black man. And you'll view that thing entirely different. Do something right for a change, Charlie Brown. Mm-hmm. See, instead of being Charlie Brown, black men, you need to be Linus. You need to be Linus. And that blue blanket that Linus had, that's your self-respect. You hear me? Instead of being Charlie Brown, you need to be Linus. That blanket was his self-respect. You need to be Pigpen. That dust cloud was his self-respect. You need to be Schroeder. His piano was his self-respect. If you notice, none of the girls played them. None of the girls talked crazy to them because they didn't care. Pigpen didn't care. That chick said to Pigpen, "Oh my God, you're a mess. Just look at yourself." He looked at the mirror. He said, "On the contrary, I didn't think I looked that good." Schroeder didn't give a damn about Lucy. All he cared about was playing his piano. And Linus won't about to trade his blanket for nothing. Not no chick. You feel me? If Charlie Brown's little sister was going to rock with Linus, she was going to have to rock with him and that blanket. Period. The reason why Charlie Brown's life was so messed up is because he was always looking for validation. He was always looking for validation. See, Charlie Brown was a low self-esteem simp. And that's the reason why he used to always go to that damn little booth and pay Lucy that 5 cents so that she could psychoanalyze his ass when really she was just hustling him. So not only is he giving her money, but she hustling the hell out of him, gaslighting him, manipulating him. All for her own enjoyment, especially with that football shit. She got pleasure out of seeing him try to kick that football. Like, I could do a whole dissertation on that shit. I could do a whole psychoanalysis on that shit, bruh. Lucy telling Charlie Brown, "Come and kick the football. I'm going to let you kick the football." And Charlie Brown trying to kick the football and falling on his back. That's the scorpion and the frog story. See, when it comes to the black community, right? This is how it works. The black women are Lucy. The black men are Charlie Brown. Black women keep telling you, "I will let you lead. I will submit to you." Right? That's them telling you, "I'm going to let you kick the football." And your desire to kick that football, your desire to lead them, your desire to have them be submissive to you is overpowering your logic. How many times do they have to set you up for failure before you finally realize that they're doing this shit on purpose? They have a sadistic desire to watch you fall flat on your back so they can go giggle with the other girls that you tried to kick the football and wasn't able to do it. Because they're not going to tell them that they snatched the ball away. They just going to say you tried to kick it and wasn't able to do it. And no matter how many times you black men get in a relationship with one of these chicks, you think every time, I'm going to kick the football this time. She's not going to let you kick that football. If she was going to let you kick that football, she would have let you kick it the first time. She would have let you kick it the first time. And see, some of y'all, the craziest thing about it, some of y'all are so messed up in the head. There's plenty of other girls that would hold that football for you, but you want Lucy to hold it. You want her to hold it because you have this desire in your mind to dominate her specifically, right? But the shit you don't realize is you're not going to be able to dominate her. You're not going to be able to dominate her because she is the indomitable woman. Go back and watch it. When Charlie Brown goes up to that little booth, that psychiatrist booth, and she's sitting there, and he drops that damn coin in that damn can, she's like, oh my God, I love that sound of cold hard cash. Lucy ain't shit, nigga. Go back and watch it as an adult. Go back and watch it as an adult. Lucy ain't shit. Charlie Brown's little sister ain't shit. I've been looking for you, big brother. Could you help me write a letter to Santa Claus? I've been very good this year. How's Mrs. Claus? Because I've been good, I have a long list of items that I want. Please take note of size and color. And if it's too difficult, make it easy on yourself. Just send cash. Charlie Brown said, even my baby sister, and took off running. She's like, I don't know what the problem is. I just want my fair share. I just want what's coming to me. Go back and watch that shit again. That wasn't a child's cartoon. That wasn't a child's cartoon. If you really paid attention to Charlie Brown, it prepared you for the world. It prepared you for the world. Another way she set him up for failure. Hey, can you be the director of our play, Charlie Brown? Knowing in the back of her mind they wasn't going to listen to him in the first place. Hey, Charlie Brown, come be the director of the play. Go ahead and have this title, and we're going to pretend like you actually accomplishing something when really we don't give a shit what you saying because we just going to play music and dance any damn way. That was not a child's cartoon. That was an adult cartoon. If you listen, matter of fact, hold on for a second. Listen to this.
I've been looking for you, big brother. Will you please write a letter to Santa Claus for me?
Well, I don't have much time. I'm supposed to get down to the school auditorium and direct a Christmas play.
You write it and I'll tell you what I want to say.
Okay, shoot.
Dear Santa Claus, how have you been? Did you have a nice summer? How is your wife? I have been extra good this year, so I have a long list of presents that I want.
Oh, brother.
Please note the size and color of each item and send as many as possible. If it seems too complicated, make it easy on yourself. Just send money. How about 10s and 20s?
10s and 20s? Oh, even my baby sister.
All I want is what I have coming to me. All I want is my fair share.
All I want is what I have coming to me. All I want is my fair share. All I want is what I have coming to me. All I want is my fair share. Yeah, message. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the other one.
May I help you?
I am in sad shape.
Wait a minute. Before you begin, I must ask that you pay in advance. 5 cents, please. Boy, what a sound! How I love to hear that old money clink. That beautiful sound of cold, hard cash. That beautiful, beautiful sound. Nickels, nickels, nickels. That beautiful sound of clinking nickels. All right now. What seems to be your trouble?
I feel depressed. I know I should be happy, but I'm not.
So you literally have Charlie Brown going to Lucy to get advice about his problems. And not only did he go to Lucy to get advice about his problems, he paid her. He paid her. He literally went to her for advice and paid her. And paid her to give him that bullshit ass advice. There's even one scene, if you go back and you look at the camp one, the one where they was in camp, right? Because look, bro, I could break down that Charlie Brown shit all day, fam. You got the one where they went to camp, right? So the boys was on their raft, right? And the girls was on their raft. And they was getting to a fork in the river, right? And the bullies had changed the sign around, right? So the boys was looking at the sign and they was like, I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to go that way. The map says we're supposed to go this way, right? When the girls got to the sign, they was like, we're going to do this like a democracy. We're all going to vote. The only problem was there was an equal amount of girls on the damn, they ended up in a tie. Like they was putting ballots in a damn thing and they was taking so long voting that they ended up going down the wrong part of the river any damn way. I said, look at this goofy shit here. So the boys are on their raft. They're trying to use the map. The girls are on their raft trying to vote on which way they should go. I said, look at this shit here. Here's another one. When Charlie Brown went to France, if you remember, the girl that had them staying in that little in that manger or whatever, She had a crush on Charlie Brown. So I'm like, damn. So Charlie Brown literally had to leave America and go to France in order to get a girl that would actually like him. So Charlie Brown was actually a passport bro. Go back and look at that shit. That girl was all over Charlie Brown. She thought he was the cutest thing on planet Earth. This nigga had to lead a country. And all he had to do was pay attention. All he had to do was pay attention to his homeboy. That's all he had to do. All he had to do was pay attention to Snoopy. Snoopy just had his homeboy, and that was it. Snoopy was chilling. Snoopy had his homeboy Woodstock, and that's all he needed. He was good money. But yeah, if you go back, look, there's a lot of stuff on television. If you go back and you watch it with fresh eyes, you go back and watch it as an adult, you're going to see shit you didn't see before. You're going to be like, holy shit, this shit was telling me what time it was, and I wasn't even paying attention. But you got to go back to the old shows. You got to go back to shows from the damn 80s and the 90s. Like, you can't watch none of the shows today. The shows today be trying to trick you. Because Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown, that shit came out in 1977. That show is actually, that one is actually older than me. But yeah, but going back to the point, you literally got, bro, you literally have everybody in our culture saying that black men are the problem. When are black men gonna wake up? When are black men gonna wake up? When are black men gonna wake up and realize you cannot participate in a tribe that hates your guts? How do you do that? Oh, Living Single, when you look at that show, that was the beginning of it. That was part of it. These shows that try to have these effeminate men. These shows that try to have these effeminate men and try to pass it off as masculinity. They've been trying to, bro. They've been trying to condition us into being effeminate men. They've been doing it. They've been doing it. That's the whole reason why shows like, matter of fact, I'll give you a prime example. How many of y'all remember Home Improvement with Tim Allen? How many of y'all remember Home Improvement with Tim Allen? I used to love Home Improvement. Now, if you remember, Tim Allen, or Tim the Toolman Taylor, he was supposed to represent your average everyday guy. Now, even though he had a home improvement show, he never did nothing right. It was funny when we was kids, but he was always electrocuting himself. He was always, and you know, he used to go, oh, like he was a caveman, right? And what was the central theme of the show? The central theme of the show, whether you know it or not, his wife was a feminist, whether you know it or not, right? Even though she was a homemaker and was supposed to be a trad wife, she was supposed to be a traditional wife, right? Because a guy like that would have been a conservative. He would have been a Republican, right? Guy with 3 boys and his wife is a homemaker, but she was a feminist. If you go back and you watch that show, you'll see a lot of her feminist ways in that show, right? So if you notice, he was always wrong. He would go out in his backyard and he would have a conversation with Wilson, and Wilson would explain to him why he was wrong. And then he'd go back in the house and apologize to his wife and all of that goofy shit, right? That was them trying to show us that the traditional man is incompetent. The traditional man is slow. The traditional man does not have emotional intelligence. He had to be schooled by somebody else. And then he goes back to his wife and finds out that his wife was right the whole time. You want to know how that show ended? You want to know why that show came to a stop? Because the actress that played Jill on that show, she felt she should have been making as much money as Tim Allen. So she's the reason that the show got canceled. She literally asked them for more money because she knew they wasn't going to pay her that money, which would give her the excuse to quit the show. Yeah, that show literally was shut down because of a feminist on some bullshit. Roseanne wasn't bad. Roseanne wasn't bad. Roseanne was actually a good show. And I'm going to tell you why Roseanne was a good show. Roseanne was a good show because, in my opinion, Roseanne was a good show because of Dan Connor. And I'm going to tell you why. That was the first time that I had ever seen a show where they showed white men actually having to struggle, instead of the myth that just all white men are rich and they always have money and shit, right? So when you look at that show, in my opinion, wasn't a feminist show. It isn't until you get to the Connors that it becomes feminist, right? Now, of course, you had Darlene, which was a feminist in the making. We just thought she was just a disgruntled teenager, the goth type teenager. We didn't realize back then that those were future feminists. Those chicks that were goth and always moody and always in their feelings, those are future feminists, right? But if you look at Roseanne's show, in my opinion, wasn't feminist, because Dan was still able to be manly. You know what I'm saying? There were times that Dan and Roseanne got into arguments. Roseanne didn't just dominate Dan. She didn't just rule over Dan. You feel me? There was times Dan got busy. You feel what I'm saying? Dan done knocked out a couple people and shit. You feel me? So that show, in my opinion, it wasn't feminist. It was showing just how average everyday Americans are. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, you got Married with Children, which addressed feminism. You feel me? Married with Children addressed feminism every episode. Every episode. Now, here's one that is a little dubious to me, right? Don't get me wrong. I love The Cosby Show. I love The Cosby Show. And Claire Huxtable, you know, Felicia Rashad's character, Claire Huxtable, I would rather for black women to view her as a role model, even though Claire used to get on one. She used to get on one with the feminist shit. I ain't gonna front. She used to be on one with the feminist shit. And that's the one thing about that show that I didn't like. Everything else about that show, I liked it. But that was just one thing about that show that I could not stand. Whenever Claire was straight until she got on that feminist shit. When she used to get on that feminist shit, I'd be like, bruh, come on, man. Because even though Bill Cosby's character, you know, Cliff Huxtable, was a good role model, the only bad part about him is he was a simp. Cliff Huxtable was a raging simp. Cliff Huxtable was the simpiest of all simps. You feel me? Al Bundy was the king. I don't care what. Al Bundy was the king. Oh my God. Al Bundy, bro, growing up, Al Bundy was like, when it came to television sitcoms, Al Bundy was the king, fam. Al Bundy was the king. There's no television dad outside of James Evans that mess with Al Bundy. Outside of James Evans, woo, James used to cook. Go back and watch Good Times. James wasn't playing none of that shit. James had smoke. You feel me? He said, it's just like my father used to say. Florida was like, don't say it, James. He said, the women only belong two places. She said, don't say it, James. He said, the bedroom or the kitchen. Bro, James used to talk shit, bro. James used to talk shit. James was whooping other people's kids. James used to talk cash shit, bruh. James was one of those, he was one of them old school fathers. And you want to know what's crazy? They wasn't even going to have James on the show. James wasn't even going to be on the show. That show was going to be about a single mother living in them projects. James wasn't even going to be on the show. They've been trying to do this shit for a long time, y'all. They've been trying to do this shit for a long time when it comes to masculine black men. They didn't even want James on the show. And then everybody be like, man, it was sad when James died. I got news for you. James didn't die. James ain't die. James pretended like he had a job opportunity down south, faked his death, moved to Queens, New York, and started McDowell's. James didn't die, y'all. He faked his death. He faked his death, moved to Queens, and started a damn restaurant called McDowell's and had a whole other family. Because he got tired of Florida shit. Because every time they had a come up, Florida would mess it up. Every damn time. I don't care what it was. Every time they had a come up, Florida would mess it up. Florida and them damn kids was unlucky as hell. James got tired of that shit. He got tired of JJ's buffoonery, and he got tired of Michael preaching that black power shit. He got tired of all of that shit. He got tired of Florida and all her bullshit. That man faked his death. I don't care what nobody say. He faked his death to get the hell away from Florida and them damn kids. Matter of fact, look at the timeline. I'm going to look at the timeline. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. What year did James die on Good Times? (1976), 1976, right? So 1976 is when James faked his death, right? How old was Lisa on Coming to America? How old was Lisa's character? How old was Lisa's character? So Lisa's character, let's see. For what year did Coming to America come out? 88. 88. Ooh, that explains it all. That explains it all. That explains it all. So that's 8 years later. 8 years later, right? So this what happened. This what happened. James faked his death, moved to Queens. He met a chick that already had a 16-year-old daughter, which was Lisa, which is why she don't look like James. And then James married that woman. Bruh, I'm gonna break that timeline down one of these days. Unless James already had a family. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna break that timeline down one day. Said the Good Times multiverse. Yeah. Hell yeah. Shit. Let's go to these Let's go to this roll.
BINO check. If you're in the building, show your work. Drop 20 on the Super Chat or Cash App.
Yo, shout out to Floyd.
That's that BINO energy.
Floyd said, "What's up, Anchorman? Before I turn in for the night, I just had to contribute something to the show. As always, excellent job. Appreciate you, fam." Shout out to John.
That's that BINO energy.
John said, "Black men have to take this moment in history seriously. For the first time in American history, we can control our image. AM been doing the work for a long time. Support the show. Appreciate you, bro." Shout out to Terenzo.
That's that BINO energy.
Terenzo said, "Notice Charlie said he had something to do, yet his sister immediately said, 'You right,' and that slowed him from directing the play." Yeah. Facts. Shout out to Abba's Child, said, "Hello all. I will never watch Charlie Brown the same after this stream as an adult."
That's that BINO energy.
Hey, look, if you go back and watch it, they was having adult dialogue on that cartoon. Shout out to Victor, said, "I see you're preaching tonight, brother. Appreciate you."
That's that BINO energy.
Appreciate the love. Let's see. Who else we got? Shout out to Athnel, said, "For the BINO, appreciate you."
That's that BINO energy.
See who else we got. Shout out to Roderick. He said, "Keep teaching."
That's that BINO energy.
Let's see. Who else do we got? Let's see. Shout out to Quentin. He said, "Thanks for the stream, AM. Appreciate you."
That's that BINO energy.
Shout out to Steve. He said, "Supporting the shoot."
That's that BINO energy.
Shout out to Jaren.
That's that BINO energy.
Appreciate y'all. Let's get to the super chats.
It's that time again. We going up.
It's time to read the super chats.
Yo, shout out to Kale. He said, "Can't take a grown man named Funky seriously." That's a fact. That's an entire fact right there. Let's see who else we got. Shout out to DJ Vapors Goat, said, "Man, AM hitting every point. All facts keep cooking." Appreciate you. Shout out to Vincent. He said, "Supporting the channel." Shout out to Dark Power. Appreciate you. Shout out to Durwood. Said, "The only toxic masculinity comes from women." Woo, that's a fact. Let's see who else we got. Shout out to Lord Geotron. He said, that show is like telling a trash can that it's better to eat off the actual dinner plate. They kiss up to the garbage that is MBWs. Appreciate you. Shout out to Free Them Guys. He said, "Boy, you be cooking." Appreciate you. Shout out to Shadow the Titan. He said, "Respect." Shout out to Shadow the Titan Wasp, said, "I literally heard a stream a few moments ago where a woman literally co-signing Meg being called out and saying she still didn't deserve to be left." Shout out to Ghetto User, said keep stating the facts, AM. Shout out to Alex, said it's been said that NFL and NBA players don't respond well to black coaches, which is the real reason they're not hired as much. Yeah, because they don't respect the authority of black men. Shout out to Rob, appreciate you. Shout out to Winfrey, appreciate you. Shout out to Nullify Beats. Said, I say F them, be who you are and stay focused. Facts. Shout out to Brain Clarity. Finally said they won't like this AM state of female-centered community is black women and Brutus and Popeye, and the men are olive oil, a burger today, pay me later. Shout out to Casual Germ said, supporting the show, at least Leroy got his chicken. That's a fact. Shout out to Martin. Martin said, as I got to thinking about it, AM, why do you think they made the show so sad? I.e. the piano melody when it was for kids. Yeah, because it was serious business. That show was serious business. Like real talk. But yo, man, shout out to everybody that came through, man. Shout out to the sponsors, Forever Studios, Beloved Peace, and Harold. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that hit me with the 50 spot. I definitely appreciate that. But I'm about to get up out of here, man. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Deuces.
The session is closed. The board is dismissed.
I gave you the blueprint, now go build a state. Stop arguing with broke, man, stop debating with fate. We don't negotiate value, we dictate the price. You watch the show for free, I just gave you a slice. But the real ones know where the equity lives. We taking everything, we got nothing to give. The manual is waiting, you know where it's at. This ain't a gamble, it's a guaranteed bet.
Build, protect, lead. Go and plant a seed. Build, protect, lead. That's the code we need. Go to the side, yeah, secure the command. The Angryman Channel, the standard of the land.
TheAngrymanChannel.com.
Get the shirt, get the books.
Start watching, start working. We up.